been going for a little bit, so we'll lift the mute. Give me just a second, stream, to @ people. And then I'll switch you over. Probably should have switched to the normal thumb screen. But anyway, I'll switch it on over. I'll swoosh it. Hello, chat. Hi, how you doing? We're Fail Portrayal.
Yeah.
Sorry, throat's a little dry today. Still getting over being sick. I was hoping to schedule in a shower before we streamed, but I did want us to get started a little early, and that's just kind of how scheduling worked out, so I'll have to see if I can do that after. But it's Fail Portrayal. So, in a time-honored tradition, we're returning to deck build packs, chat. We're going to start with Malice, because nobody told me not to.
Nobody said otherwise.
Yes, you know, I didn't get a lot of selection from anyone about which one we should do to break into the new crossover breakers archetypes, because that is now out in the TCG. So all these cards are fully out.
Yeah, I think I saw some crossover breakers in my look at, what was it, Mr. Toy's Toy World.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff going on. Sorry, I took my mic off too explosively clear my throat. Yes, no, crossover breakers is the brand new meta. 2 of these decks are really good. Once again, breaking the mold that most people assume that at best only 1 deck in a deck build pack will be good. Everybody in the TCG thought that... Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. MBT was very down on Ryzial, and I know several other people were kind of like, well, I mean, it's just a rank 4-inch, and I don't know if this will do it. The OCG hecking loves Ryzial. It is currently the best deck in the OCG format by far, and it is one of the big winners out of crossover breakers. But Malice is still playable out of the gate, and it will likely be getting side support in basically anything that involves Dark and Cybers and Banishing anytime in the future. Chat. So we're embarking on a process of slowly muddling our way through the deck build pack cards. I do want to say, though, not sure about the exact scheduling, but today is Axe's birthday, funnily enough, literally on Fail Portrayal.
Hi.
It's him. He's
I
here.
had something in mind, but I have booked something for like 2 hours from now.
Yeah, so we'll probably be done with this stream by then, but to avoid any possible overscheduling, I talked about this. So we're locked in for the Blotch-Oversode. I don't know why I keep wanting to put a V in there, but I'm gonna. And so
it's hard to pronounce, like,
yeah.
Blottrosode.
Blotch-Oversode? Blotch-Oversode?
Blottrosode.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to put extra consonants in there, but we are gonna block out for 3-time TGA's Game Awards winning indie game Balatro and do a Balatro episode sometime.
Also, arch enemy of ratings boards for some reason.
Yeah, no, I've seen Local Funk talking about that one. The Peggy board is being really weird because, according to them, this is, I think, proof to say that they've never played Balatro. Or maybe they played Balatro and got too into it, but basically the way Peggy, the European, the EU board works is they think the fact that the game involves real cards and a chips mechanic is too close to real-life poker playing. But as Local Funk pointed out, EA's FIFA Club is fine as a 3+ rating. So
that is actual gambling.
I don't know. We'll see if the fact that Balatro is so popular can like bully the EU into changing their mind, because it's got a big pull.
Like there's no, like the worst thing about it is like there's actually, like there's literally no gambling besides it just being playing cards, and you get money from like
it's randomized.
You only
but
get money from like remaining hands. You know,
yeah,
actually,
the monetary rewards are not a payout based. It's just chips, and chips are just points. You can't convert chips into money, not even fake money, at any point in the game.
Yeah, the money you get separate because you should get it from like gold cards or gold stamps or remaining hands and other things like that.
Man, do I feel some kind of malice against EA for their stuff?
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yes, so we will schedule in at some point the Balatro episode to talk about to look at Balatro Jokers, and if I can get good assets, maybe look at the Friends of packs, because those are actually like really neat. The little detail they add to your different card faces. So we'll work out that exact scheduling. I would say next week for sure, but I honestly don't know, because next Tuesday is Christmas Eve, which for Loth is Christmas Day because he's in the future. So I genuinely do not know what other people's schedules will be like. So
Who knows? I may end up being called into fucking work.
Yeah. With the field you work in, they're going to be looking for people, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The only fun part is that on the the 14th day next week is possibly when I'm going to be away, because that's the day the family gets together to celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, the Boxing Day. Yeah, I genuinely do not know if I'll stream Final Fantasy XIV on Christmas Day. We'll see. Tune into tomorrow's 14 stream, because they've just dropped their next patch for more custom deliveries, more Hildebrand. Also, I think the role quests are later. The Wachumeki quests drop now, but I haven't finished all of those. Anyway, we'll talk about that when we do 14. We started early to get around our talent to prevaricate. So we're going to talk about, as I said, first, Malice. It's pronounced Malice no matter where you go. As usual, for some ungodly reason, the TCG's really afraid of the turn A. The OCG's used the turn A a couple of times, both for Amazement and obviously for Malice. And the TCG's response to getting something that in text format means that these are incredibly unique. If you use a turned A character the way Yu-Gi-Oh! Names work, that is completely uniqueified. But I don't know. I guess they don't want to like break the alleged 7-year-olds who are playing this game. They're not. Brains by giving you a turned A. As far as I know, you don't pronounce turned A, the schwa, as anything other than A. But yeah. So Malice with 2 S's, probably the laziest localization in a long time. The name is probably a portmanteau of a couple of different things. Obviously, it's pronounced Malice. And obviously that could be related to malware, because they are cyber monsters. It is also a portmanteau of Alice, as in the literal Alice in Wonderland, because that is absolutely what this deck's theme is. No, you laugh about how obvious it is. No, it's very, very obvious. The trap cards, or the spell traps, I think they're mostly trap cards, but their names are literally like an abbreviation and then a number. The number refers to the chapter in which the event the card is referencing is in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. That's how on the nose we are.
Oh, that's kind of neat, though.
Yes. But also, funnily enough, because we are going to be talking about Balatro at a later date, several of the cards will also reference playing card suits. Visually, obviously hearts are important, but the playing card people are a factor of Alice in Wonderland as well. So we will see references to clubs and diamonds. No spades yet. We'll see if they do save that for later support. And also, again, because we are got so many layers of things. Somebody had a lot of fun designing this. Your main deck cards are mostly named pawns, and the link monsters are named queens because they are named after chess promotion. If you get a pawn to the back row, you can promote it to a queen. So it's we threw everything at the wall here.
The queen.
And I do think that some of these cards will also reference other stuff. What's up, Love? What's so funny to you?
I was like, man, why is it so hot right now? Feels like 94 degrees.
Oof. Also, yes, thank you, Zero Rama.
Yeah.
That's great. I like that. Well,
Humidity?
the turn A is the strongest Gundam, so they're right to be scared. Good. I appreciate this. I get that. I should sit down and watch turn A sometime. But Gundam is kind of, I think, Sunrise and Bamco has it kind of like all over the place in terms of streaming services. But man, I remember back when Gundam Evolution existed, it really sucked to get hit by the turn A ult. But these ladies are all, as I said, Dark Cyberses, so assume at any point, chat, you can immediately wambo-cambo any of these with any deck that involves Dark Cyberses and Banishing. Now, these cards are not in Master Duel yet, so I will be hunting for their assets separately, but they were all previewed recently, so we should be able to get good versions of their art. While I'm pulling up art, Master Duel is going okay. It is currently the Duelist Cup. I am proceeding along. I feel like I have seen a lot of funny back and forths on like how strong Tenpai actually is if you counterpick. I recently actually, by the way, finished watching all 4 hours of Hardleg's Let's Get to Master with Ancient Gears. Literally halfway through that episode, that month series, Tenpai released. And Loth, you'll be happy to know, Hardleg had like an 11-1 record of beating Tenpai with Ancient Gears.
Let's fucking go!
Like, yeah, Ancient Gears is a better OTK deck than Tenpai if you know what you're doing. It's other stuff that it is hard to out. But yeah, Ancient Gears, reasonable deck.
Wait, where is it? I have a gift for this.
But yeah, I've been still Tenpaiing it up. I'm trying to work on a new White Forest deck, and also probably a new Illusion Brew. Ooh, that's a good one. But those are still in the process of being manufactured. So Tenpai is where all my fucking supers and ultras went for now. So we're still cooking. We'll see if the meta shakes anything up. But there's fun decks to go through. Also, by the way, you're listening to the Live Twin field theme on Infinite Loop. I figured it would be appropriate today.
As weird as this sounds, seeing this character right here, I can hear the fucking what's that emote or emoji that they use in anime for when a character gets like a angry mark in their forehead? I feel like this is the kind of thing for this character, and you just see people on the internet go, this person needs correction.
Well, this is Malice P, as in pawn, Chessie Cat. This is I don't know exactly why they wanted to go this way, though Chessie is very funny. In the OCG, it is literally like typed out in all English letters, Malice P, Cheshire Cat. But also written in kana as Marisu Pion Cheshire Kyato. So, like, they fully double-layered the pronunciation. But yeah, this is Cheshire Cat. It sure looks like it, Got a tail. It's also a USB stick. The stripes are slowly fading. This is a mock-up from DeviantArt, so I don't know for sure if if we get like a full full render in Master Duel, if like she'll have normal pupils. But the definition on the actual card art does seem fairly small as well. So obviously, we have the Cheshire Cat, we have the pawn. There is actually a malware like family or tradition called Black Cat. I do not know if that is anything to do with like all the like background images and messages. You can see that the club suit is clearly behind her.
Yeah, I assume there'd be one of each of the suits at least.
Well, and I mentioned this. So far, we don't have ace spades yet. The three main decks are hearts, clubs, diamonds. So they've left themselves some wiggle room for new cards, which is always good. This is a thing I think we've talked about a lot on Fail Portrayal when Konami is like, yes, we shall make an archetype themed around 7 sacred stars or the 12 constellations of the Zodiac. We've made 12 monsters. We can't make any more. Oops.
I mean, but you can. You can just make alternative versions of the 12.
I
or
mean,
the
yeah.
7.
Yeah.
They can do stuff, but the problem is that it would like they get too tight on their theming and don't leave themselves any wiggle room, and then you're just like, well, shit, you've used up all your obvious answers. You could have just made this easier.
Bit of a random aside, Omega. Sorry to interrupt, but Axe, I found a thing. I'm posting it on them. I think you'll enjoy it as much as I did.
Yes. I also agree with chat. I think they deliberately left themselves room to expand this. Usually deck build pack decks are expandable. So far they haven't pulled the trigger. I think it's because same with like I don't think Ryziel has any like added support yet, even though it came out like 6 months ago in the OCG. The two decks that are good out of crossover breakers are just that good that they did not immediately need band-aids. Like Live Twin needed like a month later Sunny Snitch and Trouble Sunny to be any good.
Yeah.
And even then, Live Twin on its own is much more effective when you play it as a package that goes with something like Sprite. That's how I beat up the Xyz Link Festival, is I played Live Twin Sprite. The Sprite package, by the way, is like, you call it Live Twin Sprite, you're playing like 4 Sprite cards that you're legally allowed to play, and Elf and Extra, because the Master Duel ban list is absolutely unhinged. But, yeah, other notes about Chessy Cat's general vibes. I mean, it's pretty normal. She is what I would expect from a Alice in Wonderland-themed anime woman. She's got, like, I think solid, punk aesthetics. She's got her spiky boots. She's got the asymmetric leg. There's a couple of extra clubs on her, jacket and tassels. The USB plug tail is very cute. I love the background work in these. Is, like, got a lot of different things going on. Very solido. So what this card does, and I'm fairly certain they showed Cheshire Cat first, so this will pretty quickly explain what this deck is about. This is a Doc Cyburst level 3, 1500 attack, 300 defense. Any monster destroyed by battle with a Malice Link monster that points to this card is banished. You're going to use each of the following effects of Chessy Cat once per turn. During your main phase, banish a Malice card from your hand, draw 2 cards. If this card is banished, pay 300 LP, special summon it. You can't special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except Link monsters. So, there you have it. You understand, chat. The Malices will give Link monsters they point to an extra effect. They have an active ability when they're on the field, which usually banishes another Malice card. And then, if they are banished, they usually have the ability to special summon themselves.
How often is, hey, if I'm being pointed to by a Link monster, that Link monster gets an effect? Like, how often is that a thing?
Oh, that's not that common. The nightmares are all about linked or co-linked monsters, but that's just generic. I do not think there are a lot of archetypes that really use the if your archetype monster points to this. The Trick Stars have some interesting interactions with each other when they're pointing to each other, but usually it's the Link monster, not the non-Link monster, if you get my meaning. So yeah, it is one of, I think, their fairly unique effects is they give their Link monsters effects when they are being pointed to. Chessy Cat, obvious 3 of. If this card's banished it, you can special summon for 300 LP. That's nothing. And also, its effect is, you may think to yourself, the old, +1. No. You're playing Malice. I think actually I think this may have been a Twitter thread that MBT was trying to shop recently, but the idea, or somebody definitely posted it in Yugi Spaces, which was the idea of a positive cost, where a card has a cost for its effect, but actually that is a plus. Banish 1 to draw 2, banish a Malice card to draw 2, is indeed a plus. You will literally go positive in card advantage if you do that. So, that's great for draw power. Also, you can blind Allure in this deck. Like, you don't care. Very solid things. Alright, so let's grab our next card.
got fucking virtual. She's got virtual stationery. It's fun.
Let's make sure we can get the bottom effect there. All right. So this is Malice P. Dormouse. It's a little large, actually. Let me resize it.
I know you said Dormouse. My brain just went Malice Dormammu.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain. It's either that or the end of, I think it was one of Thero's Marvel vs. Capcom vids, which is just all Dormammu rap.
Oh, but yeah, with Dormammu in the suit.
Yeah, and just playing his voice lines. Erotic
I also
flavor.
think of a Russian badger saying Dormama.
Yeah. This card's name is just Malice Pawn Dormouse. I assume, as I said before, they tried to dodge the Cheshire Cat part because of a certain powerful mouse whose name we dare not speak. Because I do not know what the Disney Corporation's opinions on characters named after prominent characters that appear in the animated version of Alice in Wonderland. Yes, no, this is a really good vibe. So she's got laser teacups that are just bouncing her laser around. Once again, doing great. I don't know if cyber Lolita fashion is a thing, but it's not. If it's not, somebody should get on that because she's got
Let's see. It's like she's got ribbons, a headband. She has a pillow offset by basically a one-piece swimsuit with stockings and
and she's wearing a
chest area with
clear vinyl
sleeves.
skirt. She's got clear
skirt and sleeves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's got sleeves inside her sleeves because they are also transparent.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if the mouse ears are supposed to be a separate piece to her headband because it makes it look like she's wearing giant headphones or headlamps in addition to her very maid style headband. So, no, great stuff. Real again, unique, distinct looks. Her color palette is also fairly unique. So I think they've done a good job of making it so that both you and the opponent can always know what Malice you're dealing with. You will not mistake at a glance Cheshire or Chessie Cat, but you know what I mean. You won't mistake Cheshire for Dormouse and vice versa.
Yeah.
And also,
she's cute.
yeah, she's neat. It's a little hard to see because it's mostly covered in there, but she does have the diamonds in her background. And let me see.
The fucking teapot just shooting lasers at me. It's incredibly funny though.
So as usual,
You know what this is making me think of?
What's up?
Bubble lenses. Also maybe magic cylinder, but still bubble lenses.
So as usual, the wiki does try to also again link every kind of name to a type of malware. Some of them are more easier than others. There is a malware process known as clickjacking, which one of which is actually called mousejack is one of the techniques to hijack where your click is going and redirect your inputs or fuck with your UI. Again, a little loose, but I am certain that the Konami research and development team could find some name of a malware that matches up to these various things. I appreciate the extra effort. So Dormouse is another dark level 3 Cybers. I do believe that all of the main deck monsters are level 3. Doesn't really matter because you're usually going to be link locked, so you're not going to be rank 3 exceeding. It does probably mean that you can possibly pivot to an armored Ixie package, but that's probably not a great idea. I think the main thing was just they wanted to make sure they were level 3 and not level 2, so you can't also do Sprite bullshit in this deck.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I would actually be genuinely upset if Malice was just used as a fucking sprite engine.
At this point, if people are using things as a sprite engine, I think they are coping with Elf's bans everywhere but Master Duel. And I think most other places still have limits on a couple of their key cards. It used to be
Good
a really
fucked.
tight resource loop, and it just isn't anymore without Elf, because Elf is, again, I cannot believe that Elf is not banned in Master Duel, then I guess it's a UR, because it's like, Elf not having to summon to a zone it points to, and just once per turn on either player's turn, summon a level rank Link 2 from your graveyard, batshit crazy. I cannot believe they printed a card that said that. Absolutely deserved jail. Anyway, Dormouse is 900, 300. I believe they all have 300 defense, so not a lot on the attack. But she says, Malice Link monsters this card's point to can't be destroyed by card effects, so this gives you protection, and you can only use each of the following effects once per turn. During your main phase, you can activate the following effect. You banish a Malice from your deck, and for the rest of the turn, Malice monsters you control gain 600 attack. This says to activate this effect, so I think this is not currently control. I think this just means you get 600 attack, period. Also, once again, they call it a cost. You have to banish a Malice. That's not. That's a plus, actually. That's another summon.
Yeah. The Malice love being banished.
Yeah, once again, if this card's banished, you can pay 300 LP special summon it. You can't special summon for the extra except for Link monsters, so... This gives you protection, gives you attack modulation. 600's nothing to sneeze at, especially for all your monsters. And again, with banished, pay 300, summon. It's all a very straightforward process. The big pillow is cool. All right, let's pull up our next art. Sorry if you hear window sounds, it's fighting me a little bit. All right. Yeah, we can frame this up okay. Let me double check how's the frame. Yeah, a little punched in. But this is Malice P. White Rabbit. Again, only Cheshire Cat that they actually changed the name of. But a pretty straightforward. The name again in Japanese is just Marisu Pon White Rabbit.
I feel maybe it's because it's like closer up, but like her art doesn't look as nice. But it's just like one of those like res up arts.
Yeah, these are all somebody doing like a redrawn deviant art. We don't quite have their high.
You wanna close it down a bit so it's like the whole image at once.
What?
It's more zoomed in than the other images.
Well, yeah,
I was about to say you ended up mumbling there.
Don't say that.
I'm sorry, but that's literally what happened.
Yeah, that's why I was. Took me a second.
I can
shrink this one down a little.
Other times yeah.
It's not actually. This is the exact same size because I didn't shrink Cheshire. I did shrink Dormouse because I wanted to show her feet. No, I do. You can see it in the artwork. I do think that at least in the card art, their eyes are actually kind of this like weirdly out of focus. The artists has tried their best to like upscale, but it's a weird one. We may have to see what their Master Duel final results do. White Rabbit it represents hearts, obviously, and it's also the White Rabbit. There is a form of ransomware known as Bad Rabbit. There's also a computer worm known as Bad Butt. Like, again, there's so many different things you could pull from for this. But here we is. And again, with the kind of going for like a white and red color scheme, very good. We've done the mismatched stockings, but in a completely different way this time, which I like. And of course, to let you know, it is the White Rabbit. She's got a giant stopwatch, which are also probably bombs or something. I also like, I think all three of them have that ombre effect in their hair where it starts like whitish and then bleeds to the other color.
Yeah, it's like I'm not sure what else to describe it as, but it just reminds me of like Valentine's.
Well, for White Rabbit, yeah, this kind of like white to pink is very reminiscent of that, yeah.
I mean, like Valentine as in like the Guilty Gear characters.
Well, you know, we take a lot of inspiration here. Again, pretty normal stuff. With her outfit, not as crazy as some of the others, though. Again, lots of asymmetry. She's got like one poofy fur like shoulder. We do have spiked bracelets on both, though. But you know, it's a good balance of looks here while keeping our in there. You've missed a little, Zed. We've talked about the first two main deck monsters, which is most of them, because this is a relatively new archetype that's pretty lean. Though we do have a couple of other things we can be yakking about. So White Rabbit is another, once again, Dark Cyberse level 3, 1200 attack, 300 defense like all of them. You take no damage from battles involving Malice Link monsters, the point to this card. Which I've just realized that basically this means that you've got... If you can get a Link 3 with 3 points down, which I do believe is possible with the way the Link arrows work, though it can be a little tricky. We'll see when we get to the Links. But you can basically, like, do like Tenpai does and give all your Malice Link protection from destruction, no battle damage, and also make it banish when they battle. Which means that you can basically attack into your opponent's monsters without needing to worry, because they'll be banished. White Rabbit's effect, if normaled or specialed, so she is your starter, you're looking to normal or special her. You can set a Malice Trap from your deck with a different name than the cards in your graveyard. By the way, that dodges Ash. If this card's banished, pay 300, special summon it, but then you're locked to Link monsters. So White Rabbit is probably your starter, though obviously because it's on special as well, you can just banish her with one of the other card effects. But it's the kind of thing where, like, she has the only effect that triggers on normal summon, so keep that in mind. I will be interested to see if we get future stuff that contests your normal summon slot, or if this continues to be, like, the deck really wants a normal.
I mean, the deck does need a normal summon.
Well, yeah, I know that we and other Yu-Gi-Oh! Theorists have joked about it. Well, yeah, some decks truly don't require their normal summon, but in general, the normal summon is because you only get one per turn unless you're doing something very funny. The concept of normal summoning means that your one normal summon trigger is usually pretty important in decks. Obviously, some decks get around this. They truly do not require any normal summons. They are like all free specials and extenders, in which case usually you want to use a normal either on a piece of non-engine or just, good combos.
Like despite the new support we have, Ancient Gears does really love using its normal summon.
Yeah, you have a couple of cards that
needs
love the normal summon slot. I mean, they have ways around it with like Statue, which is a Cyber Dragon. You can special summon if your opponent controls more cards than you, shit like that. But yes, generally, like, you're gonna use at least one normal summon in an Ancient Gear combo. And similarly, there are decks that are built around multiple normal summonings. I think Flu is the most recent one that's been good, but there are several decks that will actually build up multiple normals. Chat, I'm going to step away for a second and leave you to yak with these guys. I'll be right back. Then we'll move on to Link monsters. Sorry. But yes, I must go away. I'll be right back.
I don't remember the other cards.
I could throw up my...
the other ones are...
Sorry, I could throw up my Gone Fishing combo, but I won't, because you won't see it anyway.
Are you right there, Axe?
What?
It's just a bit quieter than usual. Also, because I forgot to say it earlier, in...
I'm like, okay, my throat's just been a bit like off, but I had to bounce a few like emotional things, but things are okay now. I also just got messaged, so like I'm sorry I went quiet. I had to think.
Okay. You are pretty busy. Today is a good day. It's your birthday. That one mod for Battle Brothers I'm technically a playtester on has an update. It's do some good things. Wait, I really hope Omega just hasn't left the stream with us talking.
Perhaps, but not sure what else to really add for the virtual thing, you know.
Actually, I'm new to the stream. Okay, they can't hear us. I can't hear us.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no, I can't. Fuck. Shit.
chat. Wrong to mic. Ugh.
Oh, Zed, you started playing 14.
Wrong to my ankle. Pulling my chair back
Where
up.
are you at? And are you enjoying it though? That's the big question though. Yeah, I see the architect. It's yeah. It sounds like Omega's back though. Or it looks like.
We're back.
Yeah, I kind of forgot you said you left us to talk to them because it's been silence.
Yeah. I left it unmuted. If you didn't talk, you didn't talk. We're back.
Yeah, that's good to hear, Zed. Wait, hold on. Important question. What race are you? I'll wait for him to type it up.
Yeah, we are on the connection is once again being goop, so we are on a normal latency, so it may take a second.
Yep. Ooh, human! Let's see, how many humans do we have? We have Aaron. Aaron's a cure.
Now I am
Okay,
perfectly normal.
once again, aside from Crystallite's friend, who I haven't seen in a while, I'm still the only Lullaphone we have.
Yes. Pretzel's been very busy.
Thank you.
So taking on a swig of water. Well, blasty poot. Okay, let's talk about League of Monsters.
Here we go.
I had League Monsters. I was really concerned.
Quiet, you.
I know.
I should double check which one of these is which in this context. Okay, no, they are all Link 3s, so they all do different things. Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure all of them are Link 3s, but I had to double check to be sure. So we'll start alphabetically then. And I will say, well, obviously they have, P, pawn and queen. This does mean that they left themselves open for more chess motifs as well, in addition to obviously all of the things they could do with card suits. So this is, our first one is, yes, we did remove fishing. Malice, Queen of Hearts, Cryptor, or Hearts of Cryptor in the OCG. Some of you may be thinking, Cryptor? Point. Actually, funnily enough, Cryptor is also just a verb in French, which means to encode. I don't think it actually has like a meaning as a noun outside of Fate. So it's probably not a deliberate reference. It just sounds cool. So, for a Queen of Hearts, pretty normal stuff. We've got the white, we've got the red. I do like we've got the ombre to black. We got a little crown. We have a giant fucking scepter. Her dress is also, pretty big. Lots of extra spikes and hearts and heart spikes. And I think I forgot to mention it before, but one of the things I was going to mention was that all of the Malice cards have kind of a built-in border around them. All of them are bracketed by a square border.
I mean, that goes with the whole suit theming, so
Yes.
that's fair.
And also can kind of resemble, because one of the other big things about Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass is, through mirrors and stuff. But I also like that they're allowed to kind of break the boundaries.
I love the fact that she's floating, because my brain thought she was holding onto her staff, and she's just like using the staff to hold herself up.
Yeah, no, she's just floating big because she's not actually that tall. Her scepter is huge. And yes, Heart's Cryptor is usually your finished target, but like I said, all of them are Link 3s with different arrow arrangements. This is a Dark Cyberse Link 3. She's got the forward arrow and then the 2 bottom corners. I do actually believe they were smart so far in that none of the Malice Links point all 3 down, which does mean that you can't actually point to all 3 of the main deck monsters so far. And obviously, if they add more main deck monsters, which they probably will at some point, just because it does mean that, you will have to be pickier and choosier with what effects you get. She is 2,500. Her mats are 3 monsters exactly, including a Malice monster, so you can play other stuff in here, obviously, which opens up the room, but you need to summon at least 1 Malice. Quick effect. Target one of your banished Malice cards, shuffle into the deck if you do banish 1 card on the field. While this card points to a monster, this effect and its activation cannot be negated. If this card is banished, pay 900 LP, special summon it, and double its attack. You can use each effect of Heart's Cryptor once per turn. So it has a quick effect to just non-targeting bounce, or non-targeting banish by shuffling. You have to target one of your banished cards if that procs anything, but it is a quick effect to just Yeetus. And also, if it does somehow become banished, it's actually 5k. No, it does not say non-tokens. It's just any 3 monsters, including a Malice monster. So you can, like, mix one-time passcode into this deck and other strats. But you do require at least one of your monsters needs to be a Malice, so there's a few play around that.
I just like the layers of it being like tries to look fabric, but it's a construct, and it's it's a fun mix of like design.
Yeah, multiple costume layers. Now we get pretty good with extra design layers without getting quite overdone over there. And obviously this is supposed to be Queen of Hearts, which is a separate character than the Red Queen, because Alice in Wonderland is actually really weird.
Yeah, it is.
Because our actual Red Queen here is Malice Q Red Ransom.
Like ransomware.
Yes. She's the Red Queen. She's got a crown like a chess piece queen. Also got like a bunch of pawns, which are also laser thumbtacks. But obviously they are shaped a lot like the default pawn piece. Really going ham on the red and black aesthetic.
It looks very similar to the previous one. Like this would be the same person wearing different clothes.
I will say the I don't actually, because they haven't released lore, I don't think. The faces of most of these characters are, and it could just be it's all one artist, so they only draw like 4 faces. Well-known artist problem. But yeah, I don't actually know how this is supposed to like work. Is there a, because there's no actual Alice character yet.
Maybe
like,
you're meant to be the Alice.
Could be. That does also remind me, by the way. I wanted to bring.
the
I forgot to bring this up earlier. Talking about also the just because nerds are nerds. I think MBT read this piece of trivia when YG Organization was going it out there, but it is actually true. When talking about cryptography, the names for like A and B in actual like examples and thought problems are usually called Alice and Bob. So the name Alice like actually has like roots in like cryptographic problem solving, which can be related to hacking and malware.
I
have a weird idea.
You go first, Axe.
I mean, if it's all called Malice, the other thing it literally could be is that all of it's technically the same person. They're just wearing different outfits based on them using equivalently different malware, essentially.
Yeah, Redma in chat basically said a similar thing of like Alice is the actual hacker, and these are just all of her different avatars or tools. Her wearer
when you
of
said
Mal.
Alice and Bob, Blast from the Past, you just made me think of Prometheus and Bulb.
Honestly, then
Bob and George.
I guess the way to go about it then would be I guess the field spell would be Alice. It'd be the
Well,
computer.
no, the field spell which exists is actually Malice in Underground, as in Alice in Underground. So we're already there. Also, yes, I just saw.
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
I was
Wonderland.
scrolling up. I just saw your comment, Arc. Alice in Wonderland is weird is probably the coldest take in the book. Yes, no, but to remind everybody, the book is probably about the mathematician, who used the expression. He used the pen name Lewis Carroll. It is inherently a book that is full of like comments on like logical paradoxes and mathematical proofs, framed as like a children's story.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was a mathematician. Like I don't know if he like left author's notes for what it's supposed to be about, but like people looking at it later have realized that like, oh, these are probably like references to
Math shit.
yeah, mathematical proofs or like logic puzzles and stuff. The Cheshire Cat saying stuff like, "Oh, we're all mad here." And if you're wondering like, well, how does math line up with like mind-bending commentary and stuff? Just think about this: when you were in probably high school, maybe college age, but when a professor or teacher first pitched you to the idea of an irrational number or an imaginary number, what did your brain do?
I think that was cool, but that's also because I heard imaginary numbers from like Kingdom Hearts bullshit.
Well, yeah, like a lot of people some people hear about imaginary numbers. I would say Kinoko Nasu is one of those because of the imaginary number realm and stuff, and go, ooh, neat. And then other people go, what do you mean numbers are imaginary? Like, there's two types
to
of
me,
people.
it's just the idea. It's the idea of numbers that just aren't real, but are placeholders for things that otherwise do exist. There's other things used, but I don't remember. It's been years.
Well, yeah, no, I'm fairly certain that is what imaginary numbers are for. The problem is that like when you start describing that at a high level, you lose people. Mathematicians probably weren't thinking about the common user when they were thinking of how to talk about explaining the concept of imaginary numbers. Irrational numbers are also actually pretty simple. Like that's just sometimes you get numbers that do not make rational sense.
Yeah, fair.
Like numbers that
forever
infinitely
loved
repeat,
the,
etc.
My math professor in fucking high school putting in math jokes on all the math exams, and it's just, oh no, our son's playing with their imaginary friend again, and it's just the fucking letter I, which is the standard
Yeah.
for
So no,
imaginary
there's like I
number.
said, there's a reason why like hackers and mathematicians like to reference Alice in Wonderland. It was
Okay.
probably
Fuck you, Mama.
their own vibe.
I mean, Ramos should probably like keep going in pigs wise.
No, I was about to circle around. So
Yeah, all right, then.
Red Ransom is another Link 3. Like I said, they're all Link 3s. She's Dark Sabers. She has the left and right and down arrow. So, depending on where you do some summoning, you've got some room. 2300 attack, Link 3, obviously. She is also 2 plus monsters, including a Malice monster. Keep in mind, Cryptor, Heart's Cryptor, needed exactly 3 monsters. Malice is 2 plus, so you can Link climb. While this card points to a monster, the original attack and defense of all effect monsters your opponent controls are switched. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If this card's special summon, add a Malice spell from your deck to your hand. If this card's banished, pay 900. Sorry, I almost said 9,000. That would be an instant KO. Pay 900 LP, special summon it. Then you can banish 1 Cybers monster from your deck. So this is your extender. You make this usually in the middle of your combo, but you want to probably banish it later so that you can summon it back so that your opponent's effect monsters get flippy floppy, which probably means they're gonna die.
And because they have not invoked the rule, I feel like how you could make Link monsters extremely fragile but also really strong is that thing, if they're sent, basically have to actually comprehend a defense value, they explode.
Yeah, no, this does not do anything about... And
no, because they have no defense value.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. This doesn't do anything about defense, about Link monsters inherently, which is funny because it only says your opponent's controlled monsters are switched. You'd think they'd do something about that. But we have actually hit a decently broad meta where playing Link monsters is not guaranteed, or if you are playing Link monsters, you might be paying like a small package with stuff like IP, SP, etc., which are usually relatively low attack anyway. So it could be a missed opportunity, but in general, if your opponent has effect monsters, they're probably going to be more focused about attack than defense. And if they're not, well, you will adjust. But we're going to talk about our next one, who I think has a also slightly funny name here. Oops. Sorry. Oh, that's link address. Copy image. There we go. Off my place a little bit. This is, and this image is actually smaller for some ungodly reason, Malice Q White Binder. As in White Queen, and presumably a file binder, which is the process that you use to, like, stick Trojans and other malware inside your other files.
Anyone getting just Chamberlain, Melusine, Lancelot vibes from this?
I think there were some jokes about that when this archetype was first previewed.
Oh, really?
It makes you think of Privati.
But she's got two little clock swords, and then also got two big clock shields things.
Oh my god, oh, Crony, is that you?
Entirely different color scheme.
I know.
Sadly, she's not enough of a blue woman for that joke to work really well. But I'm sure Chad
Really
can
is just a-
DiCaprio
she is
point
just blue.
anyway.
She's just a blue woman.
So, my brain is going, okay, so Black Queen, ranged mode, White Queen,
Melee.
close combat, yeah, melee mode. Like,
Yeah.
Don't know why I'm trying
Could
to
make
think
sense.
of melee.
So White Binder has, also funnily enough that you say that, White Binder basically has the same arrows as Red Ransom, but mirrored. So instead of the one down-pointing arrow, she's got the front-pointing arrow and then left and right. So she points forward, Ransom points back. She is also 2300 attack. She is also 2+ monsters, including a Malice, so again, you can Linky climb with these. If this card's special summoned, target up to 3 cards in any graveyard, banish them, send them to hell.
Ironically, that's more of a send them back into the dark web where they just
Yes.
come back.
But, you know, this obviously works against your opponent, but also, you know, if you're doing it on your own turn with graveyard setup, this is probably also just, again, plussing like 4 billion. You're probably going to summon at least, you know, 3 guys off that. During your main phase, you can set a Malice Trap from your deck or graveyard. Just for free during your main phase. You can set a trap.
On your deck.
If this card's banished, pay 900, special summon it, then draw 1. You can only use each effect once per turn. So again, you have Red Ransom and White Binder are both your extenders, and then you are presumably ending your combo by banishing Queen, Heart's Cryptor, and then just summoning her back and making her 5k. The main thing I think is, I don't know for sure, like, this is one of those decks, and maybe this is why it's not as successful as Ryziel overall. I don't know if you're going first or second in this, you know, because it's like it's got a lot of strong combo potential, but so far it doesn't have a lot of playing through disruption potential. But it does seem like your current end board strategy, before we talk about like trap cards and stuff, mean that you make a really honkin' big guy. I guess though, because Cryptor has the 2 downward pointing arrows, if you can summon back like what's her face, White Rabbit. No, White Rabbit is you take no battle damage. It's is it Dormouse or Chessie? That's no, yeah, it's Dormouse that's they can't be destroyed. Yeah, so if you like summon back Dormouse, you have, you know, an indestructible guy who's 5k. So there's a little bit of room there. We're going to talk about the spell traps now, before I talk about some of the support cards that are out there. and obviously, like we said, this is a main deck that's literally 3 monsters and then an extra deck that's 3 different monsters. You might run 2 copies of them just to have some extension. But you can really fit in any kind of, again, Dark Cybers monsters. So if you're Dark Locked or Cybers Locked, they work. This is our field spell. This is the art I also used for the thumbnail. Malice in Underground.
It's Dark Lock. I was about to say, like, yeah, just bring out fucking access code talker. It's like, wait, no, that doesn't work.
I mean, you could bring out access code talker, but like honestly, just doing your combo into a big cryptor is almost as good.
Yep, there they are.
I like the whole.
Yeah,
Cat's
we're all just vibing.
Cat's just gonna land on her feet.
Yeah.
I was about to say, it looks like
Mouse
she's
is-
doing the fucking cat stretch.
The Dormouse is sleeping. Oh, I think we forgot to mention this because we were talking about the other stuff, but also
I just wish this whole thing linked together.
Yeah, the laser is like a string, but also I wanted to say, her dress is shaped like a teacup upside down. We forgot to talk about that.
That's. Oh, you're right. It is. Yeah.
Yeah, so like so much cute, lovely little
that's
detail.
good.
And also they're falling into the underground hole full of checkerboard, shapes.
It's
in
the dark web.
The perfect, metaphor for what's going on. I also like that you don't really get it because in English, of course, cards are in all caps, but in the OCG, this card's name is just Malice in Underground, like in all English letters in all caps. It's something that sadly is lost when you translate it. So this is their
do
field
like
spell.
that. I like the idea of we go fucking Lawnmower Man style visual avatars into cyberspace kind of shit. But,
And of course, when you log
It's
into
under-
the
the
cyberspace, it's gonna be you fall through the Alice in Wonderland hole,
No, I was more thinking it's made to the net to dark web kind of thing. Where it's
Play
like,
your,
you drop
yes,
down
it also
you drop
is,
down into the unknown.
Good call, Spirit On in chat. Yes, I think this may actually be a callback to Return from a Different Dimension. It's the structure of it is very good. Because this is a deck about banishing. Also, chat, insert PS2 startup sound here.
Yeah.
So, this is a field spell that says, 1. When this card is activated, you can banish a Malice card, 1 Malice card, from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Yep. Just
Deck?
Yep. Banish him. Banish a Malice from somewhere.
Ooh.
Anywhere. Anywhere to start
I feel
plussing.
like this is.
Just start.
I feel like this is going to get limited real fast.
We'll see,
I don't
because
know, because
Malice
it's
isn't as big as Ryzial, but yeah, this could be pretty powerful.
I'll explain it like this. It banishes one of their cards, but the thing is that it only works in this deck. It doesn't do anything else besides this deck, so it's entirely dependent on how much this deck is ever actually played.
Yeah, I guess the question is do you do full Malice combo and then do something really annoying that this can't be stopped by just banning something else? That said, also, by the way, this is your big blowout tool. Not only is this your field spell that starts by banishing a card, which presumably special summons a card, while 3 or more of your Malice traps with different names are banished, Malice Link monsters you control gain 3,000 attack. So, we once again have reiterated, this is, again, absolutely the OTK deck. If you banish her and summon her back, your Cryptor is now 8k. And your little Link monsters are now 53k. Or 5,300. So real big ladies. Big OTK potential. Also, while you control a Malice Link monster, your opponent's monsters can only target Malice Link monsters for attacks. You can only activate 1 Malice Underground per turn. So I think this is also part of your go first strategy, where just you build a board, you protect your Link monster that's 8k, and your opponent just can't out you by attacking. Obviously, there's still room for go there, but yeah, no. Absolutely just... I love that the secret sauce in this deck is okay, so we've built a deck that's a very tight resource loop that allows you to go positive in card advantage immensely off of banishing your own cards. What's the end result of this? An 8k beater.
Like 6 but quicker.
It's an 8k beater who also is presumably indestructible and also banishes monsters at battles if you're using your arrows correctly.
Damn.
And yeah, this isn't the main thing I'm seeing right now is because it requires you to banish 3 traps, which is not that hard to set up, but that does mean those traps are probably not set on your board, depending on what your ratios are like. Right now, from just looking at the 6 monsters and then the field spell, not a lot of protection for your back row in this deck. I think you may need to keep an eye out for some alternative techniques to make that work. I don't think we're as down bad as like playing field barrier in this deck yet, but you're going to want to keep some sort of interruption in there because having 8K is real cool. Again, presumably if you're, like I said, I don't know. I think you can play both variants, but if you're playing this deck as a go first, build a board, make an unoutable guy they just can't run over, and then either your opponent like scoops or you just go turn 3 and are like, okay, you're dead now. This is like card number 1 for your opponent to spot remove. Because it makes your guys smaller and it also means they can attack your non-links. So like this is a very key part of your interaction. But if you're just going blind going second OTK, hey, Forbidden Droplet, hell of a card. And you probably don't care if you're sending cards to graveyard because you're just gonna fucking banish them. Like,
Fair.
Droplet is a card that does not go in every deck, but if you can make it work in a blind OTK deck, crazy good. Like, I love it a lot. But let's talk about our traps. So the traps are formatted, Malice C for code, and then a series of letters and numbers. So our first one, as I pull it up, will be Malice C code GWC Grin Without a Cat 06. I will shrink this very slightly. 06 referencing the fact that the Grin Without a Cat scene with the Cheshire Cat is from Chapter 6 of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. That's a good one if you're going first. Is that suggesting a Starlight Road package? Yeah, that's probably it. Huge Revolution or Starlight Road.
Face.
Yes. 4 great emotes you can get by being a tier 3 sub to Chessie Cat on Twitch.
I more feel like they'd be like one of those fucking hackers. Because it's like, I don't know why, but this makes me think of like, it's like the same artist that does fucking Live Twin or something, or it's just like
could be the same artist.
Kind
this
of
is like very similar vibes for the different shapes. But I just had to make the joke, Join our channel memberships and get access to special emotes.
They should be, if there was an official Yu-Gi-Oh! Discord.
And then
they
also,
should be emotes.
absolutely, just, I don't know if they really mean anything. Let me check the trivia page to see if this text means anything, but it's just like, yeah, no mention of that. Just, generic angry computer text.
What you need is like one of those faces on a tiny body shaking your finger like,
Oh, right. I forgot about the other trick this deck has. Yes, that's right. So the first line of text this card says, you can activate this card the turn it was set by banishing a face-up Malice monster you control. That's right. I forgot about that part.
Ooh.
We've
Wait,
this is the other reason why I like Malice. We've made Labyrinth's engine for activating traps even faster. You can activate this card, this normal trap card, the turn it was set by banishing a face-up Malice. Special summon one of your Malice monsters that's banished or in your graveyard. Then, if you control a Malice Link monster, gain LP equal to the original attack of that special summon monster. You can only activate one Grim Without a Cat per turn.
Okay, that's neat.
Yeah. So, you can activate this trap card the turn it's set. It lets you special summon one of your Malice monsters that's banished or in your graveyard. So if like your monsters get negated and destroyed and don't get banished, you can summon them back. And if you do this with a Link monster, such as if you made them as Link material, you can get LP back. So it's a time card, but in reverse. Basically betting that your opponent will not OTK you, and you will, in fact, OTK them because you're going to have more life points. Sorry, I accidentally opened up the tab I wanted in a new window, not a new tab. But we're going to grab our next trap card. You're going to see a guy on it who's very interesting. We'll talk about him in a second because he's not technically in the archetype. Because they did do a funny thing with like a non-archetypal support. No, I think you can play Trap Trick and Trap Track in this deck. You do got to be careful about Trap Trick because remember that the way that works is you can only activate one trap card after you set it, but that does give you an opportunity to banish different names from your deck to make room.
Like, it seems like there could be some synergy, but it's also one of those ones where you could accidentally fumble into, this card is not letting this card draw kind of thing.
It is a thing, I think, where you would probably play it as the option. It's not going to be optimal every single match. Sorry, I deleted that a little too early. This next one is... That's framed up good. Yeah. Malice Code MTP07. Mad Tea Party. Chapter 7. Sorry, I should pronounce it 07 because the original OCG
Right,
name is...
because wait, isn't that guy a card that existed earlier and someone's saying he's a forerunner for an archetype later?
Let me double check when Mad Hacker, that's his name, was printed.
Because he was around before. People were saying like this guy feels very distinct enough to be a thing for later.
Yes, he was released as a random guy in Battle of Chaos. It turned out he was secretly part of this archetype the whole time.
I remember people talking about that, being like, huh.
But yeah, it's one of those cute cases where stuff comes up. And like I said, we'll talk about him because he is another Dark Cybers that I think works in this deck as an option.
Gotcha.
But yeah, MTP shows Dormouse and Mad Hacker having the Mad Tea Party. This trap says you can activate it the turn it was set by banishing a Malice. Its effect is add one Malice from your deck to your hand. Then if you control a Malice Link monster, banish one card on the field. You can only activate MTP once per turn. So this is just add, from deck to hand. And if you control a Link monster, banish one. Non-targeting banish, by the way. Lots of non-targeting banishes in this deck.
Not gonna lie, genuinely surprised that the Mad Hacker of Mad Hatter is not just another lolly.
Like I said, he actually came out like 2 years ago.
Oh.
So I don't know if they had this
was
archetype.
that long ago? Fuck it.
Yeah, it was Battle of Chaos was 2022. It's almost 2025.
Damn.
So yeah, no. I would assume that they probably didn't have this actual deck for sure planned all the way out that far in advance, but maybe thinking like we may do a Cybers Alice in Wonderland thing later, and then they were just like, oh yeah, we can make Mad Hacker work for this.
I mean, on the plus side, you can see that for Mouse, actually now, they kept the string kind of motif that Mad Hacker has on his hat.
Yeah.
And it just goes to her lasers. Or slash, whatever is connecting her teapots and shit.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun here. But yeah, so MTP means that you can, it's a searcher. You're probably going to go plus because you'll summon back somebody off the banishing it off your field. And then also, like I said, if you control a Link monster, non-targeting banish. Great.
So, looking at him now, why does Mad Hacker have the fucking Betty's hairstyle from Pokemon Sword and Shield?
Yeah.
That's just me.
And then our next one. So this one is TB11. Code TB11. This is referencing 3 blasts and 3 blasts on the trumpet that the White Rabbit does for the Queen of Hearts. And it appears to show kind of, magical girl transforming into Hearts Cryptor.
Wow. They're pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hearing the fucking sparkles from one of the Sailor Moon transformation sequences.
This card is probably the most niche, I think, out of the 3 traps. Grim Without a Cat and Mad Tea Party are both like searchers, effectively. Well, they're extenders, because like Malice lets you get a guy that's banished from your graveyard, and then you can add from hand. So they both do normal like recover your pieces stuff. 3 blasts still has the same. You can activate the tournament set effect, but it's special summon a Malice monster from your deck, or if your opponent controls 3 or more cards, you can special summon 1 Malice Link monster from your extra deck instead. For the rest of this turn, that special summoned monster can't attack, and neither player can activate its effects. So the way that works is once it leaves the field in some way, it no longer becomes that monster. So you can banish that for cost, and then if you find a way to summon it back, it can still activate its effects and attack. But this is still one that's very weird. I appreciate kind of what they're going for here. It does give you, like, even more going second plays. Like, if your opponent has a big board, you can just start cheating out Link monsters. They're not properly summoned, so you can't actually do that with them. But there are presumably, like, ways you can get started with your combos this way. But it's definitely, I think, the weirdest of the 3 interactions. And I should mention there are a lot of Cyber monsters that do like being banished already. There's Dotscaper, which if it's sent to the graveyard, you can summon it. If it's banished, you can special summon it. You can only use each effect once per duel, but it's another Cyber, so you can summon back. Balancer Lord, if you've ever seen like the default Cyber starter deck play, it lets you do an extra normal summon by paying 1,000 LP, and then if it's banished, you can summon a level 4 or lower from your hand. So there are already Cyber's extenders that work. Let me actually see what the wiki has a recommendation. Signet Mining, Gold Sark is a great card to play. Allure of Darkness is a great card to play. Just playing fucking DeFi hard in the deck. Cards like Signet Backdoor, Signet Rollback. Real great way to manipulate your Cyberses. What's the card? Okay, that's banished too. And then they've just got a lot of like random, cards to recommend. Aloof Lupine is a dark banishment-related cards. Format Skipper. Interesting, they're trying to recommend a couple of the Ryugeis. I guess they those have a banished loop, but I don't think that's that. I don't think I would do that one. Lady Debug is a good one, because that lets you add level for your lower Cyberses when normal they're specialed. She's also a light if you wanted to play Chaos in this.
Always an option.
So there are a few different ones. Is Mad Hacker in Master Duel? He is. It's going to be very funny. He's not in a secret pack yet, though, so they can save that for when they release the Malice secret pack after they did the Malice selection pack in approximately 6 months. But this is Mad Hacker. He looks basically just like he did in the Tea Party art. He was tweeted out. The OCG did reveal him on October 6th of 2021, because that's Mad Hatter Day, because it's 10/6. This guy is also a Dark Cybers level 2 with 1,000 attacks, 600 defense. Also, yes, they're asking, does Cybers have a Rhoda? Yes, that's Signet Mining. Signet Mining is send 1 card from your hand to your graveyard, add a level 4 or lower Cybers. You can only add 1 per turn, activate 1 per turn. So there's a reason why it's not in real life is not limited to 1 like Rhoda. There's a cost, but yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'd play Envoy in this setup. I was thinking more like Levianeer combos, but Blackluster Soldier is still like the fact that he could just, as a 6K or a 3K guy who can just attack twice, can be very nasty, and he banishes your opponent's monsters as well. Can be good to just play extenders. What Mad Hacker does is... Go ahead.
I'm trying to remember what was that Blockbuster card that you could basically if you have 3 lights or 3 lights or 3 darks, you can banish all of those to summon him.
Oh, I don't remember. There's a few. Somebody can check the tapes. But there's room for some stuff. Like I said, I think you could probably run a Chaos package. I don't know if you can make the levels work out because you're mostly link locked anyway. But hypothetically, you could run Chaos Angel in this if you somehow get blocked out of link summoning. I know. Yes, you're playing maximal copies of Cyanide Mining because none of the Malice monsters stop you from using tokens. You're probably playing one-time passcode because that just summons a token. Also, I think the token is a 2k beater, too, so, you have a lot of options. Honestly, if you shouldn't do this, but if you wanted to go apeshit, you could play, Malice Live Twin. Because, most of the girlies are in main deck or Cybers. You do got to worry about becoming fiend locked when you actually do live twin combos, but depending on how many materials you have, you can do that after you've done your whole got your whole Malice loop out of the extra deck. And all you need to do to summon Evil Twin Kill Lilla is tribute to Link monsters. It's just that if you have a Kill and Lilla in graveyard, she's 4,400. Again, I don't recommend that, actually, but it's a funny thing you can do.
That is entirely fair.
But Mad Hacker, if a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. So it's just an extra body on your opponent's turn. During the end phase, you can banish this card you control, take control of one monster your opponent controls with the lowest attack, your choice if tied. But while faced on the field, you can't activate its effects and can't special summon from the extra deck except Link monsters. You can use each effect once per turn. So, again, depending on exactly how you're playing Malice, Mad Hacker is not 100% inclusion. But if you do happen to be going second, I think this guy's a great guy to put in your sideboard if you know you're going to go second, or if you're planning on blind seconding anyway. Because just your opponent's going to special summon monsters. So if you special summon him and they don't do anything about him, he's just extra material for you to start link summoning next turn. But if they actually let it get to end phase, that means you can start baiting interactions, you can force them to use up negates and stuff, or steal one of their monsters to have material. Oh no, it locks you to link monsters. How terrible. But yeah. Hacker is, like I said, a option for the deck. There's also a bajillion other Dark Cyruses to play. There's, Backup Secretary and the new versions of her. Secretary Ad Ignister, I think, is the new one. So, this is a deck that has a wonderful amount of flexibility. Like I said, I'm looking at, the recommendation in, in the wiki, and in addition to all kinds of the Cybers randos you'd expect, they're talking about shit like main decking macro and DeFi. I don't know why. I guess you do draw some extra cards, but they're recommending playing Solemn Wishes in this deck. Don't do that. We're past the point where you should ever be playing Solemn Wishes. But they've got recommendations to play a Labyrinth package in here. Obviously because he's dark and kind of important. You can include Lord of the Heavenly Prison. It means your set cards can't be destroyed by card effects, and also gives you a huge guy that lets you set any card. Keeping in mind, remember, you can activate Malice trap cards the turn they're set by banishing a Malice. So there's a lot of room for flexibility in these decks. Let me actually see. Can I find... Can I, pull up? Let me go to Road to the King. Let me see if I can find a recent Malice list if anybody's playing it. Just to wrap us up. Oh no, you. So that's the other thing I have to do to fill a little bit of time. You're playing you're main decking D Shifter in this deck. You have no reason not to play D Shifter because that is another dark monster, and all of your monsters want to be banished anyway. Yeah. So here, let me show this to you. So this is Road to the King. For actually, let me see. Can I get a more recent one than that? Also, that table became way smaller than I thought it should be. No, okay, they don't have any reports that are more recent than that. So this is the most recent Road to the King, which reports on the OCG metagame. I'll make this slightly bigger. So your decks right now, it's hot. You've got Ryziel at about 32%, Malice at about 18%. Blue Eyes with the new support is almost 8%. You got a little bit of White Forest / White Woods, which is now like as Amino White Woods at this stage. Memento is a very tiny slice. Gem Knight got some legacy support, so he's a very tiny slice. Snake Eye is mostly dead because of banlist hits in the OCG, but you still see a few people going on. And then the anythings are like truly anything. There's still one fucking guy playing Grass Branded. There's a couple of different Fiendsmith brews. One guy playing Dragon Link at this tournament. 2 guys playing Voiceless Voice. Good for them. Fucking Raid Raptor players. 3 Tenpai showed up this. Some Labyrinth wombo combos. Some Centurion wombo combos. One guy playing Vanquish Soul. Good on you. Somebody playing Trickstar Tachyon. I gotta find out what the fuck that list is. That sounds crazy.
Sounds nuts.
Okay, so let me attempt to copy their deck list. Yeah, it's gonna. I'll move it around. So, I'm looking at it. You're main decking Dot Scraper. You got 2 Shifter. We're on only 2 Chessie Can. Okay. They recently semi-limited Maxi, so you're running only 2 of that. But it's 2 Maxi, 3 Ash, 3 Droll, 2 Allure, 2 Gold Star.
Go ahead, do some setup.
That's okay. We're done talking about Malice. Have a good day on your birthday, Axe.
Thank you. I need to go
Take
check in
care.
with some people, so I gotta
That's
jump on
okay.
a few voice calls.
This is why we started early. We're done with the actual business part. So I'll talk to you later. All right, he's gone. So let's jabber jaw about this. So I was right. You're running actually you're only running 1 copy of each trap, so you got to be careful about that. That means that you're not getting your big attack. But they're on 2 Field Spell, 2 Allure, 2 Gold Star because that's limited to 2 Called by, 3 Imperm. They're playing 2 Dominus Impulse. And it looks like your non-engine package is a very simple, straightforward Bestial package. That's... Honestly, I would probably play, like, 3 DD Crow instead of 5 Bestials. Because there's not a lot of synergy there, but I guess Pizza the Hut searches some of the others. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, you're running Shifter in main. You're running like your Malices in there. There's a few wombo combos. Your extra, you've got a Typhon, Lingaribo, Code Talker, Almirage, Haggard Lizardos, I believe has been showing up a lot. SP, Azalea, and end on Firewall Dragon. Maybe make a big fucking Apo. I don't know for sure if this deck is like the most optimal brew, but this is the pretty common one. You normally end on Griffin or Tempest Terahertz. And obviously, when you're playing this deck in TCG, you cannot use Apo this way. But in the OCG, okay, they're playing... You make a small mat Apo to prevent being Nibiru'd, I see.
Oh, of course.
As a monster negate. And then you can see in their side deck, they've got different tools for different things. Tactics Package, Heavy Storm, 1 Nig. Nibiru. Let's see. Different Dimension Ground. 1 D Barrier? Are you only playing 1 D Barrier? You're not even playing Trap Trick in this deck. You come in first, so like I guess it worked out for them. Yeah, you should be able to co-link so you can play Nightmares. Like I said, they're working on playing Griffin in this package. I guess it's just because Maxi preference, but like in the TCG, you're probably seeing, instead of seeing those Maxis in main, you're seeing the Fool Loss. I don't know what that quick play spell card is. Is that a Cynet related card? But again, not sure about the ratios. The OCG does things a little differently. But if you want to see what brews they're cooking up, let me actually see. Let me see if I can find a Malice deck list. Yeah, we've got some. Let me see. Sample deck. Yeah, this was top 8 at YCS Anaheim. Okay. This would probably be a slightly better package because it does also do some banishment stuff. But the TCG version of this is running, instead of the 5 Bestial package, is running a 5-man, or 4-man technically, but is running a small Kashtira package.
Oh.
1 Fenrir, 3 Unicorn, a Birth, and a to search it, and a Wraith Soth. Their side deck is they're playing. Why are you playing Lancia? I guess because you can Sanctum it, but they're playing like Change of Heart, the Called By, and shit in the side. Let's see. They've got Dark Fluid. They've got Heat Soul. That's another good one to get in here.
Some of these are painful to hear.
Linguribo, because you can't play Linkuribo. They're playing Link Spider. Though you don't have any normals for that. What's the tuner target for... Is it just Ash? They're playing Enigmaster Packbit, who's a very funny guy, but he's a Synchro monster. So I don't know how you make him in this deck. But yeah, so like I said, there's already differentiation in the brews, and once the new Adignister Dark Cyber stuff comes out, including like Code Talker Adignister and stuff, there's gonna be a lot more potential for this. Like this deck has a lot of flexibility. I will probably look at making it in Master Duel. I don't actually know because there's, let's see, Tenpai. Let's see. The only cards in Tenpai that are normal is the trap card nobody likes. I don't think there's a good target for that, so they may actually distribute the rarities a little. Like, I'm noticing people are only playing, like, 2 Chessy Cat, so that might be, like, a rare or something. Or maybe they'll make, like, 3 Blasts, like a normal. But I don't know what the dust will be like. I imagine at least they'll have a decent spread of supers and ultras, at least, because they've got, multiple Link monsters and main deck monsters. But, yeah, the deck is real interesting. Obviously, it's kind of in a second place behind, whatchamacallit? Ryziel. I do want to... I'll throw the card art up. Because I will say the card art's very funny for D-Shifter. Recently, I believe in a live stream, they were talking about D-Shifter and referred to it as male, which confused some people because nobody was sure of what the fuck D-Shifter's gender is. I don't think D-Shifter's gender matters. They are a dimensional attractor or dimensional shifter. If you don't know what D-Shifter does, this is a Dark Spellcaster level 6, 1200 attack, 2200 defense. If you have no cards in your graveyard, quick effect, send this card from your hand to the graveyard until the end of the next turn. Any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. So a pretty common hand trap in a lot of decks where banishing versus sending to graveyard really fucks them over. It's a, 2-turn long, because it's until the end of the next turn, Macrocosmos hand trap. It's really annoying. It's, semi-limited in the OCG, Limit 1 in Master Duel. A lot of people are surprised that it's didn't get hit in the latest ban list. I tell those people, you're smoking crack, because, at 2, this is still a main deck card in Malice right now, 6 months after it came out. There's no way the TCG was hitting D-Shifter before Malice can do anything. Yeah. Now, next ban list, I expect in the TCG this is probably going to go to 1. As a splashy 1-of, it's annoying. It's a very powerful card. You see it played a lot already in the TCG in Tenpai, because Tenpai can kind of play through Shifter, whereas major meta decks like Fiendsmith and Yubel cannot at all play under Shifter. I don't think... Sorry, chat was just saying... I got caught up with the latency. Chat was just saying that you can send Packbit to the graveyard. They didn't look like they had any, like, Dogmatica packages to send, but there may have been ways. They did have a Cyberse fusion monster that, like, uses other Cyberse extra deck monsters, so there may be a way to fuse with, like, Splash Magician or Proxy F Magician or something. Send it from extra deck as fusion material. But that seems like a very, very edge corner case to get into. But yeah, so I did, because they're down to one copy, I did make a D-Shifter, and I do play it in my Tenpai deck. It's a really weird one. I don't know how to feel about D-Shifter. Like, obviously, I usually hate macro-type effects, macrocosmos-type effects, because so much normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Requires you to be able to send to graveyard.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, the idea is that if you're playing D-Shifter, you're probably playing a deck that can get around it, just like if you're playing Macrocosmos. But you can activate it going second, so your opponent gets a little fucked. It's weird. A lot of people don't like to play under it. I suspect that it probably will go to 1 or be banned in the TCG before too long. At Master Duel as a Saki 1-of, like, that's annoying, but also means that decks that do still want it can play under it, because, like, this is just such a huge boon to Malice. And like I said, I don't actually know, like, what you do in Malice, like, when you play the combos, right? Like, it seems like when you play Malice and go first, you just make a big, like, Neo Tempest Terahertz, Firewall Dragon or something. You make an out-of-archetype big, stupid asshole Cyberse who, like, has multi-negates or something. So, like, it's a really interesting spot for the deck. But assuming if it lives that long in Master Duel, I'll probably still play the 1-of Shifter in Malice when it gets there. And we'll see how these shake out. Like I said, but if there's enough people next week, we're probably going to try and get together and do the Balatro episode. If that's not going to work, we may delay that until first week in the next year. Because technically it'll be whatever's winning the Patreon poll. Oh, and I should say, I forgot to mention earlier, Vesper didn't join us because they're out on the town doing some stuff, and, it's kind of like, if they're here, they're here. Scheduling, it's a pain in the ass. So, like I said, I don't know what we're doing next week as well, exactly. You got a few days left before the poll ends, so if that actually matters, if we have to, we can do the poll winner, which right now looks like by 1 vote is going to be Paleozoic, but you got a few days left to vote, and I do not believe everyone who can vote has voted yet, so check us out on Patreon for that. I wouldn't mind talking about Paleozoic. That's a very fun deck. Talking about weird decks that do stuff. But yeah, Malice is a very interesting deck I like a lot. They've got a lot of room for extra support to come off. My personal thoughts is I hope they come up with a better in-archetype payoff than just playing Firewall Dragons or Access Code Talker Ad Ignister. Just because that's, like... I know that the reason why every Cyberse deck does that is because it's really easy to do in a Cyberse archetype deck, but also I do find it kind of annoying that every Cyberse deck becomes make a giant fuck-off Firewall Dragon because that's the only good monster we have. So, like, I'd love to see, like, an in-archetype Link 4 or 5. Or, hey, a new thought, make another Link 6, Konami, but make it so that it's, like, 2+ Malice monsters, so you have to use, like, 2 of the Link 3s. Or you could make it 3+ Malice monsters. Link 6. There's funny things you could do there, Konami. But I'd love to see other stuff. There's plenty of room. There's the Caterpillar. I don't know what you would do for Tweedledee Tweedledum, but that's probably something you could make work. Like, there are a lot of different Alice in Wonderland characters you could draw on. As, like, a high level, Jabberwock could work, though. As as much as I love references to Jabberwock and it's just nonsense words, that's a really interesting case because Jabberwocky is a poem that appears inside, I think it's Through the Looking Glass, but it's just a poem that, like, Alice reads and then puts down the book and is like, man, that was a weird poem. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, back to whatever this nonsense is.
Could be a trap card could reference Jabberwock would be pretty funny. You could, because that you'd have a chapter to pick from that. But like I said, there's so many more places for this to go, and depending on what Konami wants to do, there's a lot of levers they could pull. They could include more trap names, which makes getting the 3K attack easier, but also gives you more options. This deck has no normal spells at all, so that's how you could give them support in the spell trap department without making it too easy to set up the field spell 3K attack boost. And obviously they have so much room for other, like, main deck monster effects to play out our other combos. Like I said, there's no spades main deck monster at all. And there's also the queens are like hearts, red and white, so there's plenty of other room in there. And if you want to do the chess motif, you could also do like a black queen straight up. There's quite a few other, like, room for plays that I think they could do to support. So we'll continue to look upon this one with great interest.
There's more options available.
Yes. So yeah, we will be talking about Balatro or Paleozoic next episode probably, and then sometime in January we're going to catch up. Obviously, we'll want to do more cubes when we can make sure we've got the scheduling for it, but around the holidays it gets more difficult. But we'll also try to work in Ryuge and Raizial. That'd be very funny to give them an Infernity Barrier. Yeah. That is something that I have noticed Konami's getting away from. Not every archetype gets an in-archetype searchable counter trap negate these days. And in fact, I think the reason why you're playing shit like Apo and Terahertz is this deck doesn't have any kind of built-in negation. Funnily enough. So, we're all in very, very funny, odd, haha places. But that's gonna, wrap us up. So we're gonna get out of here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and like I said, tune in tomorrow for Final Fantasy XIV shenanigans. I'll see you guys next Tim. Goodbye.
I'll see you later.